thrilled to be joined once again by Scott, local Edinburgh whisky geek, joining me for a taste of something which is a bit unusual. This is from the Pure Scot blended Scotch brand, which is owned by Bladnoch. We've tried the signature, sort of standard one before, and we were fairly underwhelmed.
Yeah,
I think
pleasant enough, but yeah, we weren't blown away.
I was going to say inoffensive, but it did offend me a little bit.
Yeah,
but it was
a fair start.
Yeah. This one we're a bit more optimistic about.
Yeah.
Decent colour for a start, and also a decent strength, 48%, and also finished in PX casks, which will give it a nice bit of fruitiness, hopefully, and a bit more character.
You see that in the colour as well, straight away, compared to the one we've tried. It's slightly darker as well there.
Yeah, I think the brand in general is all about appealing to perhaps a younger market, to try to get them into whiskey. Lose some of the stereotypes of whiskey being an old man's drink and trying to make it hip and cool. This particular one is part of they call it the Creator series. I'll have to double check what the label says because I've not really any idea what it means. This release of the Creator series was made in collaboration with Australian musician, which makes sense because Bladnoch's owned by an Australian guy, Australian musician Angus Stone, who considers whiskey as a time to reflect after show, to take a moment by myself with a scotch and think about the night.
Wow.
Angus Stone, have you heard of him?
I've not.
I've not.
Let's
see if he's any good, actually. Angus Stone. Let's see.
Sure it must be.
Who's your favourite Australian musician?
Kylie Minogue.
Kylie, that's a good one. Is he as good as Kylie? Right. That's right.
Wonderful.
Imagine sitting having a scotch.
Yeah.
Fairly pleasant. Takes a while to get going.
That's not horrendous, actually, to be fair.
Yeah. Get used to this. I feel like we should take back our initial scepticism of Mr. Stone.
We apologise.
Yeah, not a bad
It
musician.
could be converted now.
I think so, yeah, definitely. So far we've established he's an alright musician.
Yeah.
The big question though is the whiskey as good?
Yeah.
Is it Kylie level or is it above or below?
We're putting Kylie above Angus Scott. Not Angus Scott. Angus Stone.
Angus Stone. I mean, Kylie is fairly unbeatable. Anyway, let's try this whiskey and see how it compares. So we'll crack this open.
Thank you.
Right, so here we go. Pure Scots, what we call in this Creator series, blended Scotch whisky, which contains Bladnoch single malts, as before, finished in PX casks, what sort of flavours would you usually expect in a PX?
Very sweet.
Yep.
Very sweet. Dessert-like, after dinner-like. More commonly associated with something like Christmas cake, perhaps.
Yes, yeah.
Straight off the nose, bizarrely, and I don't know where this might be coming from, but I actually get a maritime quality there, like a saltiness, and I don't know why, but
it's definitely got compared to the their standard one before, which was just so flat and just not really struggled to pick anything out.
Yeah,
this at least has something to it.
Night and day, much more going on. As I say, immediately on the nose there, real salty sweetness.
Yeah.
Salted caramel might be too cliche, but I can definitely. And it's 48%, but again, it's not overly spicy. It's not too much. But
on the nose,
but there is something there.
Yeah, it does still seem quite youthful on the nose. I think it seems quite lively, maybe a touch immature. But I suppose we'll give it a taste and see what comes through. Slange. I mean, that PX finish gives it a heck of a lot more, doesn't it? The strength makes such a difference as well.
Oh, wow. Much more going on in the finish as well. Sweetness, definitely, but a real toffeed even now I'm actually still a lasting finish, but there is spice, and as you say, that youthfulness is there, but it's not offensive. It's fairly well,
just
put
a bit
together,
more.
actually.
Just in general, just a bit more depth to it, a bit more complexity to it. There's a bit more to unpack than obviously their standard release. So, this one will be more expensive than the standard one.
Yep.
This one, to be honest, it's a step up, and I would be
Definitely.
happy to drink this neat on its own because there's enough there to enjoy and think about.
I totally agree. I think it might perhaps be more testament to PX as well. I'm a huge fan of PX casks. It's real sweetness, and I think that has definitely added a different component to the whiskey.
Yeah, it's just a bit more layered, I would say. But it's perfectly pleasant. I would say it's maybe not Kylie Minogue standard, unbeatable, but it's good.
I'm a fan. Yeah, I would drink that happily. Solid.
So
solid.
a solid
dram.
A solid dram from Pure Scot, and a huge step up from their standard stuff.